Hi, I'm Dr. K, and if you've tried losing weight by following meal plans and are totally frustrated with not getting anywhere, or temporarily losing weight but then gaining it all back, then I'm going to show you why losing weight with meal plans doesn't work for most people and what to do instead. And you may or may not know, for the last 14 years, I've run a weight loss clinic where I only see women over 40, and I help them to lose weight and keep it off permanently without dieting and also without meal planning. So let's get into it. Point 1, meal plans are not the answer. Every so often I'll have a new client tell me what they're really thinking. They turn up for their initial discovery session with me and they say to me, all I need is for someone to tell me what to eat. What they want is for someone to tell them exactly what to eat for breakfast, lunch and dinner. They say they'll follow the plan religiously and lose weight and everything will be fine. But that approach doesn't work. It never works for them. How do I know it doesn't work? Well, if meal plans worked, they wouldn't be at my clinic asking for help. But what's the problem with meal plans? Meal plans assume that losing weight is a food problem, a nutrition problem, a problem of lack of knowledge about what to eat. But I'd like to change your way of thinking about this. I'd like you to think about this in a completely different way. And when you see things this way, it might become glaringly obvious why most people struggle to lose weight. What if losing weight wasn't a food problem, but a mind one? What if the thing holding you back wasn't your stomach, but your brain? I mean, think about it. You could be given the perfect meal plan, and you might be able to follow it for a week, a couple of weeks, maybe even a few months if you were really lucky, but eventually something gets in the way. After some time, something makes it harder and harder to stick to the plan. What is it? It's your old habits, your old way of eating. It's sitting there under the surface, and you've been able to suppress it for a few weeks, but it's still there. What am I talking about here? Well, imagine 3 people on 3 different diets. The first person, I love pasta, but I'm on a no-carb meal plan. The second person, I hate being hungry, but I'm on a fasting diet. And the third person, I like to eat solid food, but I'm on a shakes diet. You can hold these habits down for a short time, but eventually they come back. And then it becomes a fight between your old habits and the new meal plan. And a person divided against themselves cannot stand. The diet is over. Because the diet assumed this was a food problem to be solved by figuring out what to eat, when it's really a mind problem where you need to figure out how to change your habits. Point 2, anyone can lose weight, but what is the aim of a meal plan? This is something I don't think enough people consider when they start a meal plan. Like, what is your aim? Are you going to stick to a meal plan for the rest of your life? So you have a sweet tooth and you're going to stick to a no-carb meal plan for the rest of your life? Oh no, you'll probably say, I'm just going to stick with it until I lose weight. But then what? What happens next after you've lost weight? You go off the meal plan. What happens after that? You're eating normally, so you start gaining back the weight you've lost. If you're not willing to stick to the plan for life, you'll go back to normal eating and gain back the weight. The Kiwi mountaineer Rob Hall said, with enough determination, any idiot can get up this hill. And the hill he was talking about was Mount Everest. He said, with enough determination, any idiot can get up this hill. The trick is to get back down alive. And the principle is the same with weight loss. With enough determination and willpower, anyone can lose weight. If you're determined enough, you can starve yourself down to the weight you want. But the trick is to stay there. The trick is to maintain your weight for life, which most people have no idea how to do. Which brings me to Dr. K's third law of weight loss. Anyone can lose weight, very few people can maintain it. But maintaining it is true success. That's why my job exists. Not to help my clients lose weight, but to help them to lose it and keep it off. So if you're taking notes while watching this is worth writing down. Weight loss is only successful if it's permanent. I'll repeat that. Weight loss is only successful if it's permanent. There's no point losing weight and then gaining it all back a few weeks later. People can spend their 20s and 30s doing that. Remember, I only see women who are over 40 at my clinic, and that short-term approach seems like it's working until it's not. Point 3, the downsides of perfection. There's a quote from Voltaire, perfect is the enemy of good. And surely that's applicable to dieting meal plans, which are strongly associated with the requirement to be perfect. Picture this, on a Sunday afternoon when you'd rather be doing anything else, you're shopping, then dragging the food back home, cleaning, prepping, putting food into little plastic containers and labeling it Monday lunch or Thursday dinner. If someone asks you, what are you eating on the 4th of February at 12:30 p.m, you can tell them because it's written on the spreadsheet and also the container with the food in it is already sitting in your fridge. This system is rigid and requires perfection, but you figure it keeps you out of trouble because everything is planned out. As long as you stick to the plan, everything will be okay. People think this is actually how they're meant to lose weight. If you ask them to visualize what being good is, this Sunday afternoon routine is part of it. But then one weekend, you're away for the weekend and you get home late on Sunday night and suddenly you don't have the 3 hours required to prep for the week. What happens that week? It's chaos, disaster. You're eating food that you're not told to eat. The spreadsheet doesn't even tell you what to do now. It's panic stations. And not sticking to the plan means you failed. I always say to clients, your meal plan needs to be able to survive the busiest, most stressful week of your life. Your meal plan should not require the planets to align and the seas to part for you to stick to it. Eventually, there will be a bad week. Think of Charles Darwin's theory of the survival of the fittest. What happens to species that are unable to adapt? They die. Same with meal plans. The more inflexible and requiring of perfection they are, the more likely they will fail. Don't be the rigid oak tree that breaks and topples in the storm. Be the flexible reed. Point 4, deprivation's consequences. Imagine you go to a restaurant and you feel like ordering the steak and the waiter comes up and you tell them your order and then the person next to you says, no, she doesn't want the steak, she wants the fish. What would you say? You'd probably say, excuse me, are you eating this? And yet many people have a meal plan where someone else is telling them to eat food that they didn't want, they never liked, and they wouldn't choose to eat, and yet because it's on the meal plan, they're eating it. Because many people are of the opinion that in order to lose weight, they need to feel deprived. They need to be denied foods they like in order to lose weight. But here's a little equation for you that you might find useful. Deprivation plus perfection equals binges. Binges happen because you feel deprived and you're trying to be perfect. I always say that deprivation is the first stop on the road to binges. Deprivation leads to cravings, cravings leads to giving in to the cravings, and then because of perfectionism, you think I've messed it up now, I might as well just keep eating. And there you have it, a binge. Here's my advice to you. Do not create a weight loss plan that involves you eating foods that you hate or not eating foods that you love. It won't survive and it will make you much more likely to binge. And I'd really like to know about your experiences with weight loss meal plans. Let me know in the comments. Point 5, the truth about habits. If you're in agreement with me that weight loss is only successful if it's permanent, how then should you lose weight and keep it off? Well, here's something worth remembering. The only way anyone has ever lost weight and kept it off for the long term is by changing their habits. Even if it wasn't what they meant to do, it's still what happened. Their new behaviors became their habits. When your habits change, things that felt difficult become effortless. After all, what is a habit? It's a behavior that you do easily without thinking. It's automatic. This is what you want to be aiming for if you want to stop yo-yo dieting. You want to change your habits so long-term weight management becomes as effortless as possible. It's second nature, it's just what you do. So instead of sticking to a meal plan, your focus should be on changing your eating habits. And if you'd like to know more about how to change your eating habits, check out my free course. The link is in the description below. Change your habits, you change your life. And I'll see you in the next video.